And so welcome to Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Guys, a country that over many years when I was in Southeast Asia, I never ended up visiting. You know, I wasn't sure. Like, why don't I just go to Thailand? Why don't I go to Indonesia? Somehow, it always was a bit under the radar for me. But being here, I gotta tell you, in some ways it's how I thought it would be, but in other ways, but just being here in the capital, I gotta tell you, this nation had a hard past, a very recent past. From the Khmer Rouge, basically communist government, to now, where I was thinking, hey, it's not definitely as developed or wealthy as Thailand. How is the capital gonna look like? And in some ways, it's quite a bit different. So much is building and growing here, but at the same time, you also see a lot of the Cambodian culture, which is very distinct and different from the neighboring countries. So today I want to take you along a little bit. Really my first impression of Phnom Penh. Driving in, there's so much developing here. You're gonna see over the next couple of, probably throughout this video, like behind me, this funky tower, this one over there looks absolutely amazing. And it's good to see that. Seriously, some of Phnom Penh is completely brand new. Like it looks like built within the last couple of years, maybe 10 years. I think this one is like a business tower and the Rosewood Hotel. So they're having some like crazy big brands entering the country, and that's actually super nice to see that, considering, you know, you can look up the history. Just 40-50 years ago, some people call Cambodia the unlucky nation of Asia. Has been a rough, very recent past. And so guys, this is a little bit the back streets of Phnom Penh. Over there I saw there's some kind of old market, so let's check that out. See a little bit the old of the city. As you see, basically a step of more local neighborhoods full of different vendors. Oh, coconut. We need to get a coconut today. So the thing about also Cambodia is that for a long time, I guess you could say a colonial past of the French. Like I looked up a little bit, the history is very fascinating. With that, you have some like French style buildings. I haven't seen too many yet, but I think throughout the day. And you know, like many people, even when I talk to some friends, it's actually quite funky. I'm like, Cambodia, I'm sure is going to be super fine. People were saying like crossing the border from Thailand can be a bit tricky. We actually got an express bus, so that was super easy. But even people say like, hey, like be careful. Like I'm sure, like you have to say it is definitely not like a Thailand, but still in many ways it feels super cozy, chill. So I guess let's dive into this old market. As you can imagine, crossing street is very Southeast Asia style. You have to walk or else you're not gonna get anywhere, pretty much. So yeah, I think I can take over. And also, we got, of course, Lisa on deck as always. What are your impressions so far of Cambodia?
Very different. I thought it's gonna be similar to Thailand, but it's not. I don't know.
What is different?
Shops, people, food, infrastructure, development.
It's like the biggest difference is like really in Thailand, most people don't speak English, you know?
Yes.
And even though culturally it is similar, but the people feel very different. Especially in Siem Reap, everybody speaks English. That was quite surprising. We thought maybe in the whole country, but no, Siem Reap's kind of like a tourist town, so I guess people adapt. But yeah, this is the old life of, I would say, Cambodia. We have an open meat market. You can get anything you want around here. What is that? We got the seafood stand. Mussels. Hello.
Riverside.
I think the river is definitely down there, yeah.
Down here.
That's
okay,
what,
thank you.
Sure. We're actually also heading there. Wow, look at, oh my goodness. There's some sea snake. You see that?
You know what is it?
No, what is it? What is it?
You know how to call
Yeah. I don't know the English word right now.
Uber.
It's like ale.
Ale, yes,
Ale.
yes, it's ale.
Look at that, we have live ale right here. Wow. Live crabs, mussels. Wow, now that's what I call a fresh market. Are they from the river? Probably, right?
Probably.
They look like river creatures.
But crab is sea.
This one, brother, you got it. You got it. No, he's going to a different crab pot. Funny. Probably delicious. So I would say let's head down to the river. Made it down to the river. I'm gonna tell you guys, sometimes when you see like river promenade, you never know what to expect. There has been some river promenades in India you come down to and you're like, wow, it's a busy place. But here I gotta tell you what I've already mentioned. It's kind of like they're building a lot. Perfectly brand new promenade. And you see, actually, I saw on the map that there's this other side and there is some development going on. I wasn't sure how much. I'm here for another couple of days, so I was considering maybe live there as well. It's kind of like looks like a big hotel. Oh yeah, I even see it. Oha or Orha Hotel, something like that. And just generally, like, most of the tall buildings you see are new. And then of course you have the French inspired or even still from the colonial time buildings, and overall like a really nice walk-in promenade. Not too much going on, probably in the evenings a bit busier, but I would say let's get a coffee, isn't that right?
Yes, it's right, it's very right.
Get some food. Lisa had food poisoning.
First time through all our traveling I've got food poisoning, and it was really bad for a couple of days. Yeah, I think it was a sashimi.
Probably.
Yeah, be careful with the seafood, but right now I'm good.
That's good. Let's find the restaurant. What do you think about that? The sign fell. Let's go. Definitely prices here are about twice of like a local restaurant, but just want to get a quick drink. And you know what's funny? What you maybe notice is prices are all in dollars. And that is not for tourists. That is actually the whole country. So Cambodia operates on the Cambodian riel and US dollar, which is, I would say, in some ways even more common. Like it's more expected, maybe it's for foreigners to even pay in US dollars, and you have to tell them if you want to pay in real. It's quite interesting. I mean, only like maybe Latin American countries carry dollar as their currency as well. So first time in Asia. I remember at the border when I was buying the visa, $30, they gave change in $1 bills. And I was like, what the hell am I going to do with $1 bills now? But it's actually the go-to currency in Cambodia. Got some coconut stuff. Smoothie and real nuts. So got ourselves some nice coconut to refresh. $3. I mean, by the river, not bad, but also, not the 50-cent drinks everybody talks about. So definitely Cambodia in some ways is more affordable, like in terms of hotels, you get amazing value. In terms of food, the thing is, maybe I'll show you later, the 7-Elevens here, they import from Thai, China, maybe Vietnam, Australia as well, and with that, you pay import products basically for the same products. In Thai, you get like a drink for 50 cents, or you pay $1.50. So that's quite interesting. I just guess that Cambodia so far hasn't fully developed like certain infrastructure to produce products themselves, so they ship a lot of things in. I know they produce a lot of clothing here, but in terms of that, very affordable accommodation, extremely good value. And so walked into a little bit of a side street here by the river, like a little Chinatown here by the river. Basically the goal for right now is if you walk by the river, you're going to be passing by the Royal Palace, which I'm quite excited to see how that looks. And then you get into a very modern area, which the first night we arrived, we stayed at. Getting our hands on some jackfruit. That's a lot. We'll have lots of jackfruit. Thank you very much. Oh, okay, thank you. So we are in a very local side street, and I just wanted to get a little bit of jackfruit for this hungry creature over here. Jackfruit, the best, really. I used to like it, but you love it.
Yeah, I do.
And so eating it a lot more, and I just wanted to get maybe like 5-10 jackfruits as a little snack. And she's like, a kilo is $3, and this looks like is, I guess, $1 value. So here, enjoy. Should we go?
Danny is feeding Cambodian kids. They're sweet. Давай. Man with a golden heart.
Too much jackfruit for us.
Yeah, true.
And so, snagging on some jackfruit. Just handed out some to the kids. We see, the thing is, you definitely see a bit more poverty around, let's say, Phnom Penh than in Bangkok. Nothing crazy, and I don't necessarily also want to shoot it. But like, you know, sometimes kids come up to you. Just something to keep in mind, but at the same time, like, I'm so positively surprised because I think Phnom Penh 10, 15 years ago didn't look like that. And that's nice. It's good to know. Curious how it's gonna look in 10, 15 years. It's gonna continue like that. It's already a pretty great place. Like, also in terms of tourism. Lots of tourists. I would say a lot of family tourism. You see the sons taking care of their moms, ordering the food, telling her how this travel thing is working, and friend groups. Not much, like a bit of a different type of tourism than Thailand, I would say. Also lots of old dudes sitting in the bars, but that's a Southeast Asia given. But nonetheless, pretty good vibe. Also been, like I said already, in Siem Reap before, and that city I was very like almost concerned about because this is the one city where everybody goes to, and I was like, how's the tourism gonna look like? But it was actually really chill, so you're gonna see that very soon. So very hot day, but it's still a nice breeze. And we made it right in front of the Royal Palace. So basically, from what I understand, Cambodia is still a monarchy, at least again. Like I said, the times have been very turbulent in the last century. But what is going on right now here is it's a bit of a mystery. They just took down the photo of the king, I guess, the leader. And I don't know what's happening, if he has like a new profile picture. And there, just a second ago, I filmed the main man of the country. They took it down. So I guess they're updating the picture. That would be my guess. So guys, right now, hopped on the tuk-tuk to see a little bit more, and as you see, we're driving in like a super, almost futuristic neighborhood. There's a couple of streets. There is a super shiny, fancy, looks like a brand new Shangri-La, and generally just like big buildings, condos. Actually, I consider to stay here for a couple of days. 2 more nights I need to book in Phnom Penh. And I saw this really cool looking bridge, and I was like, yeah, walking right now is pretty hot, so let's drive over it. It's called the Swan Bridge. Welcome to the Swan Bridge. Shangri-La, Phnom Penh. So I was suspecting that this one's kind of like a modern area, but I didn't know. Basically, we just crossed the water and some kind of old building, the Kopich City Hall. And then what we're looking at is some super nice developments. You have like a building with greenery falling down. Like I said, some brand new hotels really, and it's really spread out. So still not that much built, but construction is ongoing. So yeah, basically here's some park. It's called the Coconut Park, in case you're interested about the location. All of this is not finished yet. Little house with some Starbucks is coming. I mean, that is good to see that there's a lot of investment into the country. But yeah, some super tall condos. And I mean, that looks freaky. Like in some parts, you're having the old Phnom Penh Royal Palace. And then also this bridge, I looked it up on Google Maps, they also just built it. So the city is really developing. Speaking of hotels and value, the first night we stayed at a place for like 25 bucks and it was really good, like a $40, $50 hotel. On the other hand, after that, moved to, yeah, definitely you could say it's a pretty good mid-range 5-star hotel for like $70-something. But what you get is more of a $200 value. So guys, heading home right now. So guys, we just checked in Okay guys, and of course, let's talk about where we're gonna stay in this city. I gotta tell you, this in many ways positively surprised me. Like, you know, some kids in the back, they're having fun. We're basically right now on the 28th floor of the home in Phnom Penh, at least for a couple of days. And I gotta tell you, like when I looked up the city, yes, I saw some new developments, but you never know exactly how it's gonna be. You know, there's other cities in Southeast Asia that are honestly not as nice. You see, most of the things have been built here really in the last maybe 10, 15 years, even just last couple of years. And this is the Fairfield Hotel. I'm right now by the pool. Super nice space, I gotta tell you. And the cool thing is, it's actually also reasonably affordable. It's a 5-star hotel, and I think the rates start here at like $70-80. And that, I gotta tell you, considering it's not like super expensive hotel, reasonably affordable, amazing amenities, really good gym. We got pretty good breakfast, like a big buffet. And the best part about it is really this 28th floor. You're overlooking the whole city. You're seeing most of Phnom Penh city, even the old town a little bit, the new developments in the back there. And even the room is like, I don't know, like nicely sized, kind of like compact. But for the money, the value is absolutely amazing. I've also seen that they have some like $30-40 hotel that looked pretty good. So overall, I would say the value is even better than in Thailand. Of course, it's not as international, but the service here is actually really good because yes, in Thailand and Bangkok, people are gonna speak English, and most of the service industry they're gonna do. But here in Cambodia, the service is actually really good because the people speak, especially like in the service industry, really good English. They really know what they're doing, at least here at the Fairfield. So had definitely a great time. And actually they have a pretty nice rooftop. A couple of days in Phnom Penh, especially when we're traveling a lot, to have a nice pool, a nice gym, a nice clean room, breakfast, and all of that for like $70-80. The good old, or actually very new, Southeast Asian value. Like I'm sure Phnom Penh didn't look like that 15 years ago, naturally. So good to see that it's really developing. And this pool, even though it's like a reasonably simple layout, I gotta tell you, in terms of the angles, you have this like little door passing through, just the entrance. To the right, we're seeing most of the suburbs, and to the left, pretty much the city center. And another thing you definitely have to mention as well is the architecture of this building. Really nice. We're a little bit outside of the city center, but pretty much a couple of minutes on a tuk-tuk or a taxi. But considering everything, we're like on the 28th floor, and Phnom Penh has a lot of tall buildings, but not super tall, so you're really seeing everything from here. You come in, nice, bright, big lobby, there's a breakfast place, and the best part, a rooftop bar, which seems actually very reasonably priced. Want to check it out tonight? Should I take you along? I think I should. Alrighty guys, and like I promised, I wanted to show you the rooftop bar. And I gotta tell you, considering the prices, it's really nice. So let's go. We are at the Wind's rooftop bar. At the table, gonna be ordering some snacks, and when the sun is going down, it's truly epic. So I think if you're by the water, it's probably also an amazing view, but here the cool thing is you're seeing really the whole city. And yeah, usually gets a bit busier in the evening, but a little bit quieter, nice and peaceful. And this view, wow, I don't know what it is about Southeast Asia, but pretty much everywhere the sunsets are wild. They're a little bit cloudy, they're like super purple, and yeah. This is basically a bar. They're having a happy hour or something, and drinks go for like $6 for a cocktail. Food, $8, $10, so pretty good value. Real quick, before we dive deeper, it is essential to stay safe while on the road. And for me, an absolute game-changing solution is Safety Wing travel medical insurance. You never know what might happen. You might eat the wrong thing if you get sick or injured. Safety Wing covers you in over 180 countries, and the best thing about it, it works kind of like a subscription. So if you need it for a week's trip, you get it for a week.
If you want to use it long term as your travel medical insurance, you can do that as well. Are covered for up to $250,000, a $0 deductible, so even the smallest things that might happen are covered. But also with things like lost luggage, delays in the airport, you can just swipe through their website and you will see for any unexpected emergencies. And another thing that is new and might be really relevant to you is if you want to live the life, the got a world to see lifestyle, live around the world, more freedom, more opportunity, more adventure, well, you want to have a complete insurance that covers you beyond just emergency situations. I think it's a game changer. Safety Wing Complete. So if you need a complete medical insurance, you want to live remotely all over the world, you also want to be covered in your home country, you want to be covered for any new medical complications that might come up. This is something you can get long-term, travel the world with ease. The overall limit is much higher at $1.1 million. And that is the coverage for both unexpected as well as ongoing medical conditions. Safety Wing, an absolute game changer for anybody that goes on a little adventure or wants to live remotely around the world. I'll link it down first thing in the description. Like I said, you can set up a free account with them and book whichever you need for a week, for a month, or long term. First link for a free account down below.
So there's definitely some very, very cute different cafes exploring right now in the neighborhood. Check that out. Just a little house on a street. Okay guys, and on another day in Phnom Penh, as you maybe can tell, different neighborhood. This one is actually like very central. We're close to the modern buildings I showed you in the last one, but that area actually I was considering to move there to a condo. Move to a different one, I'll show you later in a bit. Amazing pool, amazing everything, very affordable, but everything is very old and not that good, honestly. But this neighborhood here, I gotta tell you, it feels very pleasant. So we got many nice cafes, just walked into a couple of them, and I gotta tell you, that's the thing about Cambodia. Accommodation can be very affordable and super high quality. Like if it's like cheap, it can be like very used up, so to say. Of course, you always get what you pay for. Showed you some great options before, but at the same time, I don't know if it's because they operate between dollar, because they import most of their products. I think a lot of these different factors. Nice cafes can run you like a good $10 for a breakfast or even more. That's what we just checked out. Coffees, $3. So definitely value is okay, but if you compare it to Thailand or let's say probably Vietnam as well, going to be going there. Maybe these videos are out already. It's definitely surprisingly more expensive, and that's kind of like an interesting thing, that there is like restaurants, cafes, nice places are relatively expensive, whereas accommodation, which is super nice, is relatively affordable for the region. But yeah, that is it. As always, crossing streets a bit tricky. Lisa, what you up to?
Changing money.
What is the rate today? Excuse me, sir, ma'am. Is it a boy or girl? Boy. Ah.
Boy.
My man, what's today's rate for baht? No. He needs to ask the boss. Thank you. So for the evening, decided to see Cambodia's capital a little bit at night as well. And just on Google Maps, I think I've heard about this place before. The Phnom Penh night market. And obviously in Southeast Asia generally, especially in Thailand, it's a huge culture. Here I gotta say, first impression, a bit more local, a bit more chill. It's still early and we're very much in the center. That might be copyright, some Cambodian copyright music. Let's go over here. But yeah, I'm excited to see also a little bit the city lights. So this is right in the center where we walked around just before, where the market was, the cafe. They heard me, they turned it down. So far, we were actually hoping for food. Maybe we can find some, but mostly it's like you can get a belt for $2.50. So in case you're looking for a way to look fancy as hell, but don't break the bank, here you can get some Louis full setup. Of course, if you're a little vacationer, you need your ring bag. Sorry if I offend anybody. I've been there many years ago. Have you seen, do you know these round bags? No? It's like a Europe thing. So yeah, very actually chill so far. Maybe on the weekend it goes a bit wilder, but like I said, you can, like, people like brands here. There was like some funny tuk-tuk driver. We saw his shoes were messed up, but he was wearing the gold ring and the Gucci shirt and everything. So yeah. Let's see if we can find any food.
Actually nice stuff, nice clothing.
Which one?
I mean, dresses.
Yeah, let's take a look for you.
Pants also. Stuff like that. I
What?
like. Why not?
So now we're talking around the corner basically. What is really interesting is that we're having carpets on the ground. So if you want, you can sit on a table or you can sit on the ground. But yeah, oh wow, they have, oh, I got my take for tonight.
Okay.
So I think I have not showed you in this video so far at all. Maybe in Siem Reap I've recorded that. The spring rolls here are some of the best. Vietnamese one maybe can compete. I haven't tried them yet on the ground in Vietnam. It's actually the next destination. But yeah, I gotta tell you, Cambodian food in some way, it's super, super good, but I wanna be very honest with you. In some places in Phnom Penh, let's say the level of hygiene really varies. Some places look absolutely fine, cute little family shop, everything looks solid. Other places looks like, you know, the oil is not the freshest. So actually this patient over here had food poisoning.
Yes.
A couple of days ago on New Year's, pretty much. And so we're extra careful right now, but this looks very solid. I'm gonna do a little honorary loop and then get some food here. So what is surprising me is it has over 10,000 reviews on Google Maps, this place, but so far it's pretty chill, pretty quiet, not too much, and also very local, so good vibe. One shrimp roll and... Ta-da! I'll eat it, okay?
No.
So let's try the rolls. Honestly, very honestly, they don't look as good as the one we had. But
Honest impression.
guys, bring a strong stomach to Cambodia.
As competitive as in Thailand, but still.
Ice cold pompachka. Woo! Yo. Yeah, the pool is ice cold.
Yeah.
Had to convince her to jump in like a child.
And so this was a bit of a first dive into Cambodia. Truly a unique place that in many ways exceeded expectations for the capital of Phnom Penh. And in the next video, we're gonna dive in a bit deeper into this country. See you soon.